Weight loss feels such an enigma, doesn't it? I mean, there are all kinds of diets out there promising amazing results in as little as X number of days with before and after pictures that show how somebody has reached their ideal weight. There are high protein diets, low fat diets, sin diets, and shake diets. Dieting companies produce meals and snacks to supposedly make the whole process easier, but are probably just making more money off people's desire to shed those unwanted pounds. I read an alarming post on Facebook some months ago where someone shared 100 statements of what life is like as a slimming worlder. I was genuinely shocked to read how their dieting experience was becoming so damaging and how many people were agreeing with what they were posting. Most people lose some weight and then put it back on again, only to go back round that weight loss, weight gain cycle. That's why I hate diets. And I really encourage you in principle number one to ditch them. Ultimately, if you're a serial dieter, then that's proof for yourself that they're not working. So if you're stuck on the weight loss, weight gain cycle, then I just want to encourage you that it's possible to achieve your ideal weight without going on a radical diet. But you do need to understand these key principles that I'm sharing with you. Once you get clear on what you need to do, it will unravel the mystery of weight management. When I lost 2 stone over 11 months, I did it really gradually by making small shifts in what I was eating and when. I realized that if I was going to eat enough, and not be hungry all the time, and quite frankly, miserable, that the balance on my plate needed to change. This leads us into principle number two, which is that not all calories are created equal. This is essential to understand. We've been told that in order to lose weight, all we have to do is restrict the calories we eat and increase our exercise. That calories going in should be less than the calories going out. However, this is flawed to some degree, and let me explain why. 100 calories of broccoli, for example, has completely different impact on our biochemistry, how our bodies function, than 100 calories of something, let's say, like banoffee pie. So broccoli is a powerhouse vegetable that packs a serious nutritional punch. It's loaded with fiber that helps to keep us fuller for longer and also feeds our gut microbiome. And it has a low glycemic load, so it helps to stabilize blood sugar. Broccoli is also rich in antioxidants, which help to fight inflammation and therefore protects our brain cells from damage. Plus, it's packed with vitamins like vitamin K, which supports brain function, and folate, which boosts mood and mental clarity. So 100 calories from broccoli isn't just fuel, it's nature's way of optimizing your health from the inside out. Compare that with banoffee pie, which, while delicious, is a sugar bomb that sends your blood sugar skyrocketing. This triggers a surge of insulin, the hormone responsible for removing glucose from your bloodstream, where it's not supposed to be and can be harmful, and into your cells. So on your cells, you have insulin receptors that act like a lock and key system. So insulin opens the lock and the glucose is able to move from your bloodstream and into your cells. This means that your cells can get the glucose for energy that they need, and the amount of glucose in your blood is then lowered. However, over time, if there's too much glucose, the cells only have one course of action they can take in order to stem the tide when there's too much glucose to cope with, and that is they shut down some of the insulin receptors. So what then happens is while the pancreas continues to pump out insulin in response to the presence of glucose in the blood, the receptors on cells no longer open in response to the insulin, and the glucose then can't get from your blood into your cells. This causes a double whammy. The cells then don't get the energy that they need, so you start feeling fatigue, and you also end up with high blood sugar, which, as I said before, is dangerous. Over time, when this happens more and more often, this can lead to insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, making it harder for your body to manage blood sugar. What's also essential for you to know is that insulin has a second role, which is the body's fat storing hormone. So the higher your insulin levels are on a consistent basis, the more likely you will store fat, and you're certainly not going to be burning it. Meanwhile, the lack of fiber in a banoffee pie means it doesn't feed your gut's good bacteria, but instead the sugar feeds harmful microbes, disrupting the delicate balance between the good and the bad bacteria in your gut. And if that isn't enough, let's not forget leptin, the hormone that tells your brain that you're full. So when you consistently eat too much sugar, it can dull leptin's signal, leaving you craving even more sugar instead of feeling satisfied. In contrast to broccoli, which nourishes and balances, exactly the same 100 calories of banoffee pie leaves your body and brain struggling to recover from the sugar load. Indeed, all calories are not created equal. So if you want to reach your ideal weight and stay there for good, it's essential that you embrace this principle. And I'm going to give you some tips to make it really practical. First, the most important thing you can do is to learn how to stabilize your blood sugar. You need to eat in a way that releases glucose into your bloodstream gradually so that insulin rises and falls like a gentle wave, therefore preventing the peaks and troughs of sugar highs and lows. So I encourage you to swap out or really limit foods that contain added sugar and refined carbohydrates. So that's things like white rice, white pasta, white flour, and white bread. And ensure to eat plenty of nutritious fruits, vegetables, protein, and healthy fats. It can be quite challenging initially, as we've been told for decades that fats make us fat, but it's not true to the degree to which we've been led to believe. Remember, insulin is the fat-storing hormone, so it's sugar and refined carbs that are secretly causing most of the problem. When you eat enough protein and fiber and healthy fat like nuts, avocados, fatty fish, extra virgin olive oil, they will help to slow down how quickly glucose is released into your bloodstream. This leads me nicely to my second tip, which is to treat calories like a budget and spend wisely. You want to make sure that you have nutritious, real food on your plate and as snacks. Processed foods are loaded with sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. For example, taking a look at a Slimming World High Thrill Me Triple Choc Bar, there are 22 grams of sugar in 100 grams. That's almost a quarter of the bar that's sugar in various different forms. So start looking at labels, especially the sugar content. I think you'll be surprised, but being more mindful about the foods in your trolley will also mean that you're more empowered. As I explained in principle number 1, the aim is not to restrict what you're eating. What I'm encouraging you to do is to swap to a healthier way of eating that provides your body and brain with the nutrients that they need while preventing the stress of blood sugar highs and lows. Get this right, and you're well on the way to managing your weight. It should gradually start to sort itself out. I can't wait to share principle number 3 with you.